Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into another monologue by me, Sally Davis from We Can Fight Like Cats If We Have to. Um, so I was going to do a live and then I opted into doing a video instead. The reason being is I do know a lot of my listeners are not necessarily on our page and or on Facebook. So I figured I'm going to make it available so everybody can have access. Um, so I'm trying to adjust my hair with the headphones on, and I look a bit funny, but that's all good. Um, the reason why I'm nitpicking and self-conscious about my hair, um, well, it's actually the topic of our discussion today. Let's talk about body dysmorphia and racialized individuals. So as many of you know, my name is Sally Davis. I just turned 37 a couple months ago. And I have had an interesting life. I am a racialized minority woman. I am born in Moncton, New Brunswick, and I am raised for a good portion of my life here. And unfortunately, it has not been easy, and nor has it been good. And we all know that there is an issue with bullying in general with children. But when you talk about racialization, it's a whole other ballgame. The difference between bullying and racialization is bullying, you fear injury, racialization, you often fear death. And that laugh that you hear when I say that, I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because it's uncomfortable. It's a really uncomfortable situation. And the turmoil that it causes to a child, the effects it has are quite significant and go with us well into adulthood. I don't take pictures regularly, which is funny because I have a vlog and I have a podcast, and I'm often in news reports, but I do not like to pose for pictures. I do not like pictures taken of me. I do not feel comfortable or in my space when I'm in pictures. I don't feel like myself. I don't feel safe. I don't feel comfortable in my skin. There's many reasons for that. I also don't look in mirrors. I've mentioned it before in the vlogs, in the the episodes, that I do not look in a mirror without having a purpose and objective. I do not admire myself. I do not look at myself. I do not sit there and look at pictures of myself and think, oh, I looked cute that day, or oh, I'm having a good hair day, I'm going to take a picture. It is 1,000% not me. And that is actually quite indicative of an injury called body dysmorphia. So, if you are unaware as well, I am a 37-year-old woman who struggles with an eating disorder. You look at me and I'm sure you see a nice plump face, but that plump face is also part of that eating disorder. I go through extremes. I go through extreme control of my eating, extreme deprivation of my eating, regurgitation and purging, along with comfort eating. And these go hand in hand. They're all signs of someone who has a control disorder. Um, I was not born like this, and most human beings who have these things are likely not born like this. What causes this is constant injury due to trauma. And when it comes to racialized people, we are subjected to physical shaming, physical harming due to our appearance on a regular basis, not just by individuals, but culturally and colonially, this has become incredibly acceptable. My childhood in Canada was faced with me being too dark and not fair enough. My traits being to North African, indigenous, Middle Eastern, my hair being incredibly not soft. And then I went to Egypt and I had the light skin, but I had the yucky hair. I was short. I'm not slim. I've never really been slim. At my slimmest, I still was exceptionally curvy. And so it created a nitpicking culture of verbal dissection of my appearance, both in Western civilization and in Eastern civilization. And as a child, I had to come to terms with this. Now, in Egypt, it was different, like, Sally, go get your hair done. Like, you'd be cuter if you had your hair done. Sally, you're a little bit too chubby to wear that. But here in North America, in New Brunswick specifically, being who I was a threat. Having my curves was a threat. Having my big lips was a threat. My nose was a threat. My medium darkish skin was a threat. And again, I always remind people that when I was younger, I was significantly darker than I am now. And even though I have lighter skin, I'm not comfortable in my skin because it appears that the moment I started to celebrate my darker skin, genetics had a whole new plan when I got pregnant with my second child and turned lightning light skin. But even now, like, I'm facing a camera and I'm facing a screen and I'm doing everything but looking at myself on that screen. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm looking to the sides, I'm looking to the camera, I'm looking down. Very seldom am I looking straight because it's difficult to look in the mirror and feel threatened by what you see. There are many forms of trauma that will lead to body dysmorphia. All of them are child-related traumas. If you have body dysmorphia and you are not racialized, you still suffer, and I see you. My reason is a combination of, I want to say, child narcissistic abuse and systematic racism. Most people, it's only narcissistic abuse. And some of us, it's just racialization. And it's hard because once you reach that point in your life where you become a parent, you are responsible to teach your children to love themselves, to celebrate themselves, to feel good in their own skin. But my, the hypocrisy when we do this. And my, the challenge it is to do this. I feel like a liar. I feel like when I tell my son, your hair is beautiful. You have the most beautiful face. And he does. My boys have the most beautiful faces and hair I have ever seen in my life. They smell absolutely delicious every day of the year. And I have a biased opinion, but that is the way that I feel. But the hypocrisy lays in the fact that half of what they have, if not more, comes from me. And when these same aspects or attributes or parts of the appearance come from within my own appearance, as hypocritical as it is, I face them with resentment, self-hatred, and fear. For all you suffering of body dysmorphia, I see you. I get where you're coming from. I understand your pain. Now at 37 years old, I look at pictures from when I was fit and lean and healthy and young and vibrant. And I look at those photos and I think, what the hell have I done letting this time fly past, hating myself so much, yet being completely incapacitated and paralyzed and condemned in repeating this same action today of not being able to look at myself or showcase myself or demonstrate a celebration of my own appearance. I know that someday I will heal, and as many of you know, I do have therapy sessions to treat my PTSD. But I feel now that I fear that by the time I will be able to look at myself in the mirror and celebrate who I am, I will be an old, weathered person. And though I will be beautiful, I will no longer have my beautiful youth to celebrate. I look at those pictures of 20-year-old me and I grieve. Those pictures of teenage-year-old me and I grieve. Those pictures of childhood me and I grieve. Dysmorphia started at about 7, 8 years old. Incidentally, the same age I entered school, public school. French public school, in my case. So, dear parents, keep your children in check. Because on the receiving end of the abuse your child might unintentionally give to somebody else and do unto somebody else is a person who will fight with themselves for the rest of their lives to not be a hypocrite and learn to love themselves. Thank you for tuning into my monologue. My name is Sally Davis. I'm a North African Indigenous North African, not to be confused with North American Indigenous. Woman, person, I honestly don't know. I'm a being. I know who I am. I just need to learn to be able to look at and see myself. Be kind to each other, support one another. But most of all, y'all better stand up for each other. Have a good day.